Hey, you guys ready for a hot take? The SpongeBob movie game is better than Battle for Bikini Bottom.
What do you think that will look like?
But why do I think that, you might ask? Well, I'm about to tell you.
The SpongeBob SquarePants movie game was released on October 27, 2004 for the PlayStation 2, Xbox, GameCube, PC, and Game Boy Advance, less than a month before the movie premiered in theaters. Nice one, Heavy Iron. Some copies of the PS2 Greatest Hits version didn't even have the logo on the cover. This is real. The game is obviously based on the movie, and that usually spells disaster. But Heavy Iron decides to make this game play exactly like BFBB. Thank you. Now let me briefly talk about the movie for a second. I fucking love it. I have seen this movie so many times I can recite the entire thing word for word. Which means I had no life. Yeah, the story is a bit whack and the whole thing is just SpongeBob and Patrick having tremendous strokes of luck, but I don't care, it's fine, it's harmless, shut up! Oh, I remember these! I used to watch these promos every time I turned the game on. There's one for SpongeBob Season 2, Jimmy Neutron Attack of the Twonkies, Fairly Odd Parents Shadow Showdown, Tak 2 The Staff of Dreams, and Avatar The Last Airbender, the anime that isn't.
All of these are so charming to watch, even to this day, but we're here for the actual game, so let's begin.
The story is the same as the movie, so I won't waste any time talking about it. However, there is one thing that bothers me. What are these cutscenes? The game has in-game cutscenes, but it also has these slideshow-style cutscenes narrated by the French narrator. Why didn't they just use clips from the movie in the form of FMVs? And these cutscenes, I'm putting quotes around that, don't even feature screenshots from the movie. Most of it is either concept art or just PNGs placed on top of backgrounds. Like, what is this? Anyway, the game features SpongeBob and Patrick as the two playable characters. Each have 4 different abilities they can perform. Every ability from Battle returns, only reskinned for some reason. The only new ability is Patrick's Cartwheel, which you can get in the second level, I'm Ready Depression. However, in this game, these abilities can be upgraded by collecting a certain amount of manly weights, which are the shiny objects in this game. Progression in this game is done by getting from point A to point B in each level. The levels were designed in a way to make the events and in-game cutscenes correlate to the events in the movie, so levels end up being much more linear as a result. At the beginning of each level, Mindy will give you a new ability if you have enough Goofy Goober tokens. These tokens can be collected at the end of each level, as well as from completing side quests. There's a bungee challenge where you break all the targets while avoiding steam. The Sponge Ball now has its own challenge where you roll SpongeBob across an obstacle course. There's the Combat Arena challenge where you have to defeat a horde of enemies. Then there's the Floating Block challenges, where Patrick has to navigate an obstacle course of floating blocks. These challenges take place in the same area as SpongeBob's dream. I don't know why there's a giant block in the middle of the 3,000 miles one, and when you get to the 3rd section, the game puts you inside the block to make you think you're on acid. This scared the shit out of me as a kid. I had many a nightmare thanks to this. Good times. When you get to Planktopolis, you get the Sonic Wave guitar. You can then go back to I'm Ready Depression, Bubble Blowing Baby Hunt, and Shell City Dead Ahead to complete the Sonic Wave Guitar Challenge, where you navigate the wave through rings. The hardest one of the lot is definitely Shell City Dead Ahead because it's long, it's hard, and the rings like to move on you. There are also 4 vehicle levels in which SpongeBob and Patrick will use the paddy wagon. Each of these levels has a time challenge, a ring challenge because I didn't do enough of these in Going Commando, and a manly time challenge. The same goes for the 3 slide levels. In these levels, SpongeBob and Patrick ride down a slide together in a shell down to the bottom of the trench, the King's Crown while escaping from Shell City, or a bathtub across the desert? I don't remember that from the movie.
Mindy was right. They knock over like bone.
I never said that!
Anyway, this game also has bosses. There's the giant frogfish, Dennis again, and King Neptune. The Neptune boss fight is awesome for one reason. The 3rd and final phase changes the music to Goofy Goober Rock, which I can't fucking play right now because of copyright. This game also has extra chests to collect, with each one unlocking a goodie in the extras menu, ranging from soundboards to trailers to the game's FMVs, concept art, and different costumes for SpongeBob and Patrick. You ever wanted to see SpongeBob as an actual Scotch-Brite sponge from 3M? This game has you covered. Whoa, Patrick, I didn't know you had an OnlyFans! Collecting every extra end token grants you the 100% ending, which is just an in-game cutscene recreating the still images from the movie's end credits. This is kinda cool, but they couldn't use Ocean Man, so it's just Goofy Goober Rock, which sounds out of place. These are a few reasons why I think this game is better than Battle for Bikini Bottom. Now I hear you saying, but these guys have less material to work with. How is the movie game better? Because this game all but proves that less is more theory. They turned a fucking desert into a pretty good platforming level. And do I even have to mention how intense Planktopolis was? Now let's talk about the soundtrack. Like Battle, this game's soundtrack is really good. I love the sliding music, the floating block music, and the music for 3000 Miles. I mean, just listen to how atmospheric the music for Now That We're Men is. Or how about the chilling orchestra in Planktopolis? Oh, and remember how I mentioned that Battle had no facial expressions on the models in the cutscenes? Well, this game fixes that issue. Speaking of the models, they are the same as BFBB, so they still look pretty whack, but I think Heavy Iron cleaned them up a bit to make them look more presentable. Is that the laugh from Ripped Pants? Yep, it is. Huh. And the characters talk in the pause menu.
Strange. It's too quiet. Like just before the Great Chum Famine of 58.
Wait, 58? I thought it happened in 59. Eugene, make up your goddamn mind. That is why, in my honest opinion, I prefer this game to Battle for Bikini Bottom. Not to mention, this is a movie tie-in. It had every right to suck, yet it managed to slap pretty damn hard. If you ask me, this is the game that should have been rehydrated. The SpongeBob SquarePants movie video game gets 7 out of 10. Obviously, this game has its flaws, but there is so much good that incredibly outweighs the bad. And outside of the Shell City Dead Ahead Guitar Challenge, there was never really anything from this game I dreaded. The backtracking is a bit weird though, but that's beside the point.
It might be my nostalgia talking, but I find myself coming back to this game more than I do Battle for Bikini Bottom because the levels are shorter and honestly, the game as a whole was less boring. Try as you might to convince me otherwise, I will stand by what I said. Battle bad, movie good. Sue me. Anyway, time to go back to the Solana Galaxy. I'll see you there.